This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday, June 14th at 5:30 p.m. We are here for the finance meeting. We have in presence in attendance Sally Bennett, Julia O'Rourke, and myself, Jeremy Graham. There's no public comments here. If there's any disclosures, is there anyone who has a conflict of interest? No. Hearing none, we're moving to number 4, which is the discussing the minutes. I would like to point out before we do have the wrong date posted for the agenda today, so we cannot approve anything, though we can still have our meeting. So we can discuss these minutes, but we cannot send them from committee as an approval. We can vote and second it at the next meeting, though. Julie, did you say you wanted to change something?
Well, I guess the grant updates section, they're kind of confusing to me. So we talked about the body cams being budgeted at 160, and we will need to go with Motorola due to pricing. I'm just trying to figure out how to reword that. So the thing, if you remember, we budgeted 160 if we got 160. We didn't, and the grant was all different and piecemeal as you have here. I don't know, it's just not making sense to me. So,
Can we go pull that and
but we will need to go with Motorola due to pricing. Maybe that is as simple as that.
And I see what you're saying. We know what we're talking about, but if somebody else were to read this, something of the amount budgeted was for.
Sally, you don't need to pull anything.
Well, what we could do is come back at the next meeting with the changes, since we can't approve them anyway.
Well, all we need to say is, I think, so it says trustee O'Rourke states the body cams are budgeted for 160. I think we can just say, but we will need to go with Motorola due to pricing. I think that's probably a little more clear. So is that clear to you guys that if we were gonna spend 160, now we're gonna spend 91.5?
Yes.
But we will need to go to Motorola
Due to pricing.
Or we can say due to price increases on previous quotes or something like that, on previous cam quotes. That would be even clearer yet. I think that clarifies it enough for me, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to.
Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing.
Yes.
Instead of saying, but we should receive enough grant money, let's say, but we expect to, because
It's
difference between expect and should.
Yep.
We expect to receive enough grant money. You hope is better.
Moving on to number 5, just not that this matters at all, but the lettering is off due to us having a first bullet point number 4.
Oh.
So again, just not going through, I was gonna go letter B. But anyway,
That is.
What's going on?
4, it
It
goes
doesn't
4A,
start with
and then
A.
5, it goes right to B. Because we use the A bullet
Mine
point.
doesn't go right to B.
Under the word discussion?
A is budget.
Oh.
What's your date say on that
5/4/2023.
one? Okay. I don't know. Yep.
Oh, you know what? This, the one I got in your total packet is truly last May's agenda, because it says to approve the April minutes.
Oh, boy.
That's your whole packet that you sent me? So it's truly May's agenda.
So I printed this from that, and it says May 4th minutes.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, I see that. Okay, I'm sorry. Agenda, what are there, 2 agendas?
The other one is the minutes. It looks very similar. It's got the
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, sorry, my bad. You're right. We got an A and a B problem.
Alright, so to clarify, there is no 5A, we have a 5B. The budget 2023, how are we doing?
I thought it looked pretty good. There is going to be a line item, well, I don't know what to do now. I requested a line item transfer to move money from contingency into, was it
Professional fees.
professional fees? Yes, for INSCO environmental.
I say we approve it anyway and we just move it back.
Okay,
We can't approve anything, right?
Well, true. Well, it'll be in the consent agenda. We won't hear, but I say we don't even worry about it. We'll just move it over. And if we need to move it back, we'll move it back.
exactly. So it's already in there. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but that was the reason, that was the one line item transfer for May.
Sounds good.
Every day things are changing around here, so,
Everything else looked good on the budget. I didn't see any issues. Julie, did you?
I did not.
Anything, do you want to discuss on that?
no.
All right, moving on to letter C, the audit.
The audit, we, what is this name? Clayton from Benning Group, said that they are trying very hard to make sure everything is ready, that the draft is ready by July 4th. So, they are waiting on me for some grant information and the section called economic, what is that called? Economic factors.
Oh, yes.
And, I will be working on that, those two things. I'm gonna try to have those done by the end of the week. And so I think we're gonna be in good shape with the audit this year.
Perfect.
Can I go back to revenues? I'm sorry, and the budget thing. Do you know what, when we roll everything up, are we running close to budget on the general fund revenues, or are we behind? I know some of these categories are behind, which, I've been nervous about this. And then some of them are a little bit ahead. Do you know when you wrap it all up, are we?
So if you look on this page, the very first page of the expenses, it shows the
The expenses or the
general
revenue?
over revenue, or revenue over expenses there. And
I mean, revenue over budgeted revenue. Because there's sometimes a mismatch on revenues and expenses, so just from a year to date, are we running where we think we should be from our budget standpoint on revenue?
You're talking about the one with the tables?
Yeah.
right now, the general fund is at 57% of, we have 57% of the budget in reserves.
No, that's not what I'm asking you. The village revenue sheet, this one with all these little buckets?
Oh, yeah.
We should be approximately 50%.
Well, we're only through May, so we should be I just calculated 42%
Yes.
roughly.
And if there is one that's below, you kind of have to look and see if, for instance,
Property.
property tax, well,
we all know that.
you can see the way that it comes in, and that's the same. I was looking at the 1% sales tax
Yeah.
because that seemed a little bit lower, but when you look year over year, we're actually much higher, or month over month, sorry about that. We're actually much higher month over month. Right on. So, I don't think it's any indication of anything. I think we're right on track.
Okay.
Moving on to letter D, the Hydra. That was looking real great. There's three names on there, I believe. And of course, there was the huge amount, the $8,000, something like that we've got coming in, because when this was pulled June 1st, bills aren't due. What day are bills due again?
The 15th.
Okay.
And they're technically
okay.
not late until the 19th. So yes, it probably looks much better today.
Yes. Anything else regarding that one?
Yeah.
Software upgrades.
Okay, well, we've made some headway.
All right.
Kelly has been talking with someone from Tyler Technologies, and they have the bill that you view on screen on our electronic payment option is ready. And they said they can also have the paper bill ready, but Kelly is not ready for that because we have to get different envelopes and some printing done, and with the envelopes need to have special postage on them. So that is in the works.
And this is to replace the postcard.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Perfect.
So we're very close. And we have some, we may have some downtime in that office with the billing, so we're, it's not a good time for us to change at this moment, but, I don't know how else to say that. So she's just playing it cautiously with the new billing. And I just today got a hold of someone regarding the $1.25 fee. And apparently this email address that they gave me to send in the request was incorrect. And the person that I talked to said they could see all the information that I was given and that I was given incorrect information. And they apologized and he gave me the correct information. And I've sent all that out. And he said that if I don't hear from them by the end of the week, that I should reach out again. So I think that might be just flipping a switch.
I'm sorry, I don't even remember. The $1.25 was what now?
That is the charge that
The company
when
charges per bill.
customers go on to pay, Tyler Technologies receives $1.25.
Okay, they get $1.25 because you paid your bill online and then you pay credit card fees too.
Yes, but it's different. The credit card fees are entirely different.
Right.
So that no matter what, if you pay it online, you get an additional $1.25 fee. So my question, when you say flip the switch, what switch are they flipping to?
I think they can change that without much effort.
As in they won't charge us $1.25?
No, they're gonna charge the village instead of the people.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to be a long drawn out process. That's what I meant by that. I think it's gonna happen as soon as we would like it to.
And one thing we can discuss when we find out the ability to do so, people so far have not complained that they are paying the $1.25, it's not to us. So the question is, it was a good amount that the village would eat, which is, the taxpayers' money in one way or the other. But the question is, if no one else is gonna complain about it, do we let the consumer eat it, and then we take that money that we would have spent and put it back into, now we have a sidewalk fund, because, say it was 10 grand every year we were gonna spend, we put it into that, or we put it into something else instead, so we're still giving back, in lieu of just eating this cost.
But we want to migrate people away from paper onto online, right? That was kind of our
Yes.
whole thought process on having the village do that. And then the credit card fees, though, you would pay, the consumer pays the credit card fees too? Or what
Right
did
now,
decide
we
there?
have it that the village is paying those,
Oh, village was paying both of those pieces then?
because I never switched it, because I thought the board had to vote on that. So I've never switched that.
As of right now, the village eats the credit card, for the old system. For the new system, we had talked about us eating the $1.25, but the consumer pays the credit card. If they use debit or ACH, it's still free, but if they wanted to use the credit card, the consumer. I still like that, where the consumer eats it, because they're choosing to do that, because
Right.
ACH is free.
Right.
But the $1.25 is something I would like to discuss I suppose it's just us, because there's not a.
Nobody's called and complained about that, huh?
Not to my knowledge.
How many people about have paid online, do you know?
Did she tell you? I'm not sure.
Like 30, 100, 300?
I honestly don't, I don't.
Kelly, are you here?
That's all right.
And
So,
right now, we don't know the answer to be able to switch it, so they don't ever see it. But it's just something to think about, because that way, if they're gonna pay it anyway, and then they can visually see, because they won't visually see us eating this. They'll visually see us saying, hey, here's now $10,000 to improve our sidewalks.
So the way it stands right now with ePay, the current system that we have about 25% of our billing paid to ePay.
okay,
And the cost of us eating those charges is like $300 and some a month.
But
And
I think that number's gonna go way higher.
that could change because ePay has, they negotiate those fees with Visa and MasterCard and all those merchants with the state is backing it. So
In addition.
I don't know that the new merchant will have those kinds of deals.
In addition to that, credit cards are much more prevalent now than they were when we started the system. So when people go to pay their bills,
so these are credit card fees, $325 a month we're paying?
Yeah.
and I bet you it's gonna go an upward of 800. That's just a guess, but I'm
Well, I
sure.
don't have a problem with consumer paying the credit card fees and having no fee for debit.
Or ACH, yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, once we figure out how to switch that, then we can make that decision, we can talk about it in the next meeting, especially because it's limited on. I just would, if we're not going to eat it, I would like to take that money that we would have spent and physically assign it to something
Mm-hmm.
for the community. All right, anything else about E? Awesome job on those updates.
No,
F, bank reconciliations, we balanced both, which is exciting.
yes.
And
And I had been sick, so I got behind again, and I'm like, I don't like this feeling, I was way ahead. So now I'm back caught up.
now, I know there was some, they're going through finding all those old outstanding checks and we were, had to cancel and write them. And you have it specifically listed as old. There were, and then that's fine, on either April or May, there was a huge amount of outstanding checks. $8 grand, I wanna say.
That was because that $147,000 check for the JD Loader thing was outstanding, and that's why the outstanding checks were so high.
Okay.
It didn't have anything to do with the voided checks, it was just a coincidence.
Okay, yeah, cause I saw down there, all checks voided, and I was like, boy, that's a lot of money, it's just left sitting at 216,000.
And with that, the information for those outstanding checks, we have talked to everyone. There is only one group that we don't have a solution for, and that is in the works, and it's actually Family Dollar. They had a third-party payer paying their water bill, and somehow we refunded them a few years back, and they didn't cash the check, and now because it's corporate, it's, nobody knows. But Rachel has been talking to them, and we have a solution that we would like to present to them, and then it'll just be no big deal. So that is the last one.
Perfect. Julie, anything else you'd like to talk about for reconciliation?
Nope.
Alright. Credit cards, everything look good there? I did have a question, and this is actually more for you, Julie. It's about police. The body armor, things like that we purchase, do we get that back when police officers leave? Cause there's only so many, like, for example, in the army, we've got like 3-4 sizes of body armor.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Thank you, because I couldn't remember.
Because the bulletproof vests are fitted to the person.
That for sure.
That's what I was
And
asking.
some of the officers, like, we've had one leave and the new agency paid for taking, like,
Oh, that's nice, yes,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
and I think we did that the other way too.
Okay.
So that's kind of a common thing, just to kind of make it work, especially those things have like a 5-year life. So if it's year one, it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Um,
and we had that with Matt Lane.
yes.
So I guess just something to think about as a whole, if we're trading officers, making sure that they're,
Yeah, I don't know how you, because it's so custom fit. Shirts and stuff I know have been left behind, but I think Jeff said for a while he was wearing some of Todd's stuff, so, but then certain things, no.
that was all I had for the credit card.
I have some information that, about the points.
Oh, yes.
So, I was able to contact them and get a login so that we could go in and look at the information. And I did provide you guys with a couple of the printouts from that. But the points that we have now, we can transfer, the cash value is $1,325. So we talked about this at admin today, and what Kelly and I would like to do, one of the options, well, first of all, we could have them put it in our bank account. But the issue with that is that we wouldn't be able to spend it because it's not in the budget. And there is another option to use the points on Amazon. They have a way for you to go on there and put them toward things. And so we were thinking, because the cash option also poses a problem if we were trying to be equitable across all of the departments. But Kelly purchases office supplies for all of the departments, and we thought, let's use it for that. And if she's spending it, I can track it, and we have an internal control. And then once that is done, she has already set up the new credit card. And it isn't using her personal information, it's, or Jeff's. They're the only two right now, since Chad
How did you
resigned.
get away with that? How did the bank not want that information?
I don't know. But, so yeah, she has been changing over the common ones that come out every month, and, we think it's just gonna be a month or two and the old one will be gone.
So we just have the village tied to the card, and is their name on it then too?
Their name is on it. Mm-hmm.
The bank didn't need their information.
Correct.
I can't understand how that happened.
Got about 2 minutes left here. I like the purchasing the office supplies. My question, legality wise, is there any issue with, instead of it going to our bank, it just goes straight to Amazon? Just because,
That might be a Mary question. And it definitely, the board would have to agree to that. I was just, we may have been able to, I don't know if admin will bring that to committee. That's a possibility.
Hello.
Hello.
So, hopefully the 1325, we're not talking about a big number, but.
Correct. Yeah, well, and I think it's a great idea, because it's going right back in anyway. I just wanted to make sure, because
We just bring
technically
it
they can't see the
We just bring it
spending.
up under new business tonight, ask the
Yep.
question?
I think so.
And then I'll bring up the purchasing policy, is if admin doesn't do it.
And all we did here, Sally, was up the limits.
Correct.
Yes.
And then the-
Everything I changed is in red, and then we identified what the resolution requirement is. And there are other requirements, but they're not purchasing requirements. They're things like, MFT and, contracts.
So we need a resolution for everything above $5,000.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So with RFPs, should police have gone out for RFP for these cameras?
Well, they basically did because they got more than one quote, right? Technically.
Yeah.
Did we have a-
Begrudgingly.
did we have a limit? Did we limit it to 3? Do we actually put that in there? We talked about it.
Limits, what?
You need a minimum of 3
Well,
quotes.
we only got 2, so I wouldn't say that.
Well, because we had talked about that in general in finance previously, I just don't remember what ever said it.
I don't even remember getting that specific, to be honest, but we could have.
1325. All right. Grant updates, any?
The only thing I changed on the grant form is an update for the police Cranbrook grants. And I just I talked to Nick and he submitted the application on May 30th and he's still waiting for a response.
I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
And I will second. Julie?
Yes.
Jeremy says yes as well, and that is approved. It is 5:55. That is the end of our finance, it's up here. I was like, where's the button? The end of our finance meeting.
Thank you.